Hello everybody, welcome to another daily dose of gaming news and all that good stuff. So let's get started. We got some good stuff here. We start off with kind of okay news. I don't know what to say now with this kind of NVidia shenanigans. Supposedly there was like a Founders Edition for the 47 Ti and 4060 Ti. I think that the 4070 I don't think we have the images like this with the signal here. Yeah, I think this is supposedly the 4070 which I believe they made it the Founders Edition at the time with the 4080 12 gigabytes in mind. I think that's what they were doing at the time, because they had to launch it and rebranded as 4070 Ti. Even though the GPU is good and everything, the price is horrible. But yeah, basically this is it. My main take of this. They've been caught in kind of in a while, one or two, and so that's why we have these photographs. Basically this is it. I think it's mainly because we see this mainly because I think they were trying to do the launching thing with like a 4080 12 gigabytes, which is just by itself is completely horrible. Even just by the fact of the specs itself, it's not a 4080, not even a 4080 minus or whatever. It's not even in my opinion, it's not even a 4070 Ti. It's supposedly the 4070 Ti should be around the 4070 maximum. It's what it is. The 4070 Ti should be something between what it is now, the 4070 Ti and the 4080. And we should have already have even the difference between the 4090 and the 80. It's huge. I think we should have by now, when the 4070 and the 4060 or the 4060 Ti, I think it's the one that's going to be launched with the 4060 non-Ti. I think we should already have starting seeing integration of or at least some announcement or some news regarding integration of 4080 Ti. So we have something that is kind of scalable. But for that, I think we need to see lower prices. The prices are completely insane. They should have put, I don't know, 4080 should be around $900 maximum at the moment. Should be around that value, so they can put it 4080 Ti and put the mainline 4080, which is like the reference, like high-end GPU. This 4090, it's like an Halo product. It's something that it's always going to be expensive, like the Titan X and all from the different from the previous generations. And I think we should have been scaled down. This GPU should be launched maximum at 900, should be around now supposedly 850. The 4070 Ti with what we call now the 4070 Ti should be around maximum 700. And you can put it still the 490 like $1,500. Okay, it's an Halo product, and the 4080 Ti around, I don't know, 1,100, give or take, around that place. So they can be more competitive, because even with the AMD stuff, the XTX, it's kind of goes a little bit head to head with the 4080 and a lot of stuff. So, and it's like at the moment market price like $300 to $400 cheaper, which is it's with 400 you can basically assemble a bundle with DDR, with some motherboard in the CPU with the difference. I don't know how they do their maths in NVidia, and but it is what it is. Let's stop rambling, or else I'll continue all day. MSI is now kind of strategically like phasing out DDR4 motherboards, especially on the Z7090 and B7060. I think the main thing here from the article is like the higher end stuff, the motherboards that the higher end, like the Edge and from MSI, I don't remember which kind of, the Tomahawks or whatever it is. I think that in the high end they are going to phase out the DDR4 support because I think manufacturing cost to put like a controller. I don't know if the controls are different or not from DDR5. I don't know if it bill of materials increase by the fact that they have DDR4, but they are going to, I think, maintain the adoption of the DDR4 in like the mid to lower tier motherboards even with those chipsets. I think it makes a little bit sense because if you are trying to save some money, you're not going to buy the high-end motherboards, which are always more expensive. And I think they are trying to figure this out by putting basically if you're going still with DDR4, it's way cheaper. So supposedly you don't have like a bigger budget to invest in a higher or more expensive motherboard. So I think this is their strategy basically. And when the stock goes out, they will not replenish. So if you are on the lookout for one of these, please be aware of this. At the moment, DDR5, it's at least it's okay. It's okayish. It's better than before. But still, if you're on a budget, go DDR4. You will not notice like huge differences. You don't even notice difference. If you're playing within a budget like 1080p maximum, like 1440p, you will not notice any difference in terms of performance. So stick with DDR4. Don't overspend. It's very easy to overspend in motherboards and also in RAM. If you're just playing games, you don't need like, for example, AMD DDR4 3600. You just a cheap one, it's good enough for you to play games and you will not notice difference. And yeah, basically this is it. The scaling on the frequencies and the timings doesn't make a huge difference. It's like usually 5%. If playing 100 frames per second in ADP, 5% is like 5 to 7 frames. So you will not notice any difference. So don't worry about it. Gaming news. The Dying Light teases that Techland, which is publisher from Dying Light games, shares like a new picture here with from a new game. Like this is supposedly going to be an open world fantasy RPG, so kind of in the same veins that Dying Light, but in a fantasy setting. Of course, we have a guy climbing on the tree, which is basically the system parkour and everything. Or the parkour system, sorry. And it's going to be narrative driven with exotic open world, all that marketing stuff. We'll see how it goes. It's only like it's not even like a screenshot. It's concept art, so we will have to wait. But it's interesting. They are like trying to expand a little bit on the things. We got some interesting stuff, so we know it's not in our world. So it's something like cracked moons here. We got some people here. I think this one you can see going on a temple of some sorts. We got a lot of landscape here, probably to explore. We will see how it goes. But yeah, it's a good tease from something that will launch eventually, and I will keep my eyes on it. And for we got this news that supposedly like one of the lead writers or the lead writer itself kind of spoke out that they estimate that Forspoken had a budget of $100 million. That's why yeah, it's a lot of money for a game. For what it is, I don't know where they put the $100 million. From all the videos that I've been seeing, even the reviews, I don't know where they put the money on this game. I don't know if it is they managed to get this funding through ESG scores or whatever it is, because it's something in the financial world, the SCG scores, the equality and whatever. Something I don't know. I know it's ESG. It's equality and social grade score or something like that. And a lot of companies manage to get these funds. So if they make like equality stuff, kind of around almost like the woke stuff, you know, they have to fill some checklists with some equality stuff from have to have X amount of people that are from this gender or of this thing, and there's a lot of check marks they have to check for them to get this kind of funding. I don't know exactly because I'm not a financial guys, but I know this is something that it's taken in account in some of this like media that is coming out, from games to movies to series, to a lot of media that people are consuming. There is a lot of check marks that companies have to check for them, a lot of boxes to check for them to have like this kind of funding, because it doesn't make sense $100 million and you got this kind of game. You got indie games that are pixel art that even in terms of gameplay, the gameplay, it seems okay-ish, you know. The open world is very empty, not a lot of things to do. It's very weird. The story doesn't, the world building, it's meh, an empty world. I don't know. It's very weird in some kind of cases, because Final Fantasy 15 was not a bad game for all intents and purposes. The same studio, Luminous Studio, that's the one that worked on Final Fantasy 15. I don't know I don't know if because they have to check a lot of boxes, they basically, the game lose a little bit on the themes they were trying to get to. Because what catch people in playing game, it's universal themes, any story, any the identification of the player regarding the game itself. It has to do with universal themes, like every great story written and every game played, even chess is alive, because it's something that you don't, it's black and white, it's mainly to differentiate the colors, and I don't know, the stories from Greek mythologies and everything, it sticks with people because it has universal themes. It's not because some people, it's like because it's a gender like this, or it identifies like this or that. It's the overall themes, the universal themes. That's why this kind of gamings and these movies and these series, they are failing all over the place. Nobody watches them. Even I didn't see exactly, for example, The Last of Us series. I see a lot of publicity saying that it's the best show ever and whatever, but from what I saw, it's not a great adaptation. What they do, it's the only thing that I see in social media is what they the shot by shot from comparing the game with the series. So they try to pull people in like with those kind of things, but then the story is not focused on what it is, the relationship between Joel and Ellie, and even the characters themselves are not the same as in the game. So there is a lot of differences that removes a lot of people that played the game before, removes them out of the series because it's not the same characters. But yeah, it is what it is. Let's go for better news. Which is Resident Evil 4 Remake. It's setting up to be an excellent game, an excellent remake. And of course we have modders. They are one of the best communities around. They are managed to now support VR, field of view, DLSS, anti-aliasing, I think. And this is from Intel via a PC mod, and first person view is already being tested, so you can play the demo in PC with all these new mods, and it's amazing. The mod community, it's what keeps a lot of games going. For example, Fallout 3, I managed to play when it came out, Fallout 3, and then it was an okay game at the time, an interesting story and everything, but it was lacking in some aspects, especially gameplay, like the shooting and shooting mechanic was very rough on the edges. And then the mods starting to come out, the expansions of like the gameplay on taking advantage of the VAT systems and everything. The same thing with Skyrim. It's what keeps the game alive. It's the modding scene. XCOM 2 even, and XCOM Enemy Unknown. I played those games over and over. The mods in it keeps going, make things interesting and twists here and there. This kind of game, that's why the modding, it's very important, and it should continue independent and free to be accessible for all, or else the games will start dying. Because if you want to micromanage and microtransaction everything on the game, like I spoke yesterday regarding the Need for Speed Unbound, no, you have to unlock map markers, you have to pay $5 for the new content in the map markers. Are you freaking crazy? But yeah, it's good to see mods on the Resident Evil 4 Remake demo even before the game comes out, and I suppose because this is engine dependent, I think we will have this, like when the game comes out, we already have like support for this kind of stuff. And Ghostwire Tokyo seems to be heading for Xbox with new quests and locations and more stuff here. I don't know very well. This is the same studio, Tango Gameworks, from the The Evil Within 2. And the new launched Hi-Fi Rush, I think. Good well seller, and I think it's a good rhythm game. It's not for me. It's not for me, rhythm games, but for what it is, I think it's a very excellent game. Everybody's talking excellent. Sells a lot of very well, even without announcement on everything. It was just they did the Bethesda thing, and then just okay, this game is now live. And people just went and bought it, and everybody likes it. Ghostwire Tokyo is like a more mystical thing. I think it's in Tokyo, Japan. I think it's okay, but I think they didn't learn what people enjoyed in The Evil Within 2, like the open world setting things and what you do there. I never saw a lot of gameplay from here because I'm kind of interested in playing this game. We'll see how it goes. When I upgrade my PC, if I can manage to get in this game to make a gameplay series or not. And going to wrap up from a lot of games. We have Spring Sale now, live until March 23, and we got a lot of games. Huge games. We got here, Steam Deck is 10% off during this week, and we got a lot of games. I'm going to try to focus in some games here because it's hundreds of games that are on sale. I will start today with some games that are on sale on my wish list. I might be going for like the less well-known or older games like Deus Ex and some Bioshock stuff. I will pick like 4 or 5 games. Because it's 70% around here, all old games here. I got a big wish list. Mainly it's to keep up with a lot of games that are coming out, but some of them is also games that I want to play, and when I have the PC, for sure I will start buying them one by one. I have some like Control and everything on the background when I ready to go to make a series when I have my PC ready for this. But yeah, I'll choose like 4 or 5. Just keep an eye on the description on the leaks. So it's if I recommend it, for sure it's good. Yeah, basically that's it. I'm going to wrap up here with my GoGetFundMe for me to upgrade my PC again, to provide better content for my clients, and of course in my free spare time doing the daily videos that I do, start doing some also scripted content to make some kind of deep dives here and there on the subjects that I like to talk about, or else I start rambling and I get lost on my thoughts, and also doing my gameplay series. And with all that said, guys, I hope you have a wonderful day. Weekend is approaching, prepare your wallets and to spend it on Steam sale, and I will see you in the next one. So till then, Kunamy Master out.